Hello, this is social media attorney Mark Fiedholz, and thank you for your interest in my masterclass on how to update your social media policy so it complies with the new federal laws and holds up in court. I have been a legal specialist in the area of electronic media law for over 30 years. And the last 7 years, I've been totally focused on developing social media policies and training programs that will hold up in court. And it's this specialization is the reason why so many in-house attorneys, human resource, and public relations staff use my programs to support their policies and training. Now, it's my job as a social media law specialist to close the hidden policy and training gaps that most people overlook. These gaps also leave you vulnerable in a lawsuit and forces you to pay out big settlements and judgments. So with that said, let's cut to the chase about the masterclass that I want you to register for. I thought the best way to structure my information flow in this podcast was through two of the most frequently questions we get. All right, so question number one. We have very capable attorneys. Why do we need a specialist in social media law? Well, here's my answer. First, we need to clear the decks on a costly misconception that delays my type of urgent specialized training. Being an attorney doesn't mean you're a certified expert in every legal topic. Like doctors, today's lawyers are specialists. I don't write real estate contracts. Just because I go to an association conference for a weekend doesn't make me an expert, all right? And it definitely doesn't make me have the same skills as a 30-year media attorney. Now, in-house attorneys, human resources, and public relations use my expert policy update program because they don't have 30 years of experience writing media policies, especially social media policies, training thousands of professionals. And truthfully, they don't spend 200 hours a month researching and training in social media law like I do. So that's why they invest their tight budget dollars in my expert programs. Again, I close hidden policy gaps that could expose them to $500,000 plus legal damages. All right, so let's go to question number two. We use a trusted policy service. We use our trade association that we trust. So also, why can't we download a policy from a reputable website? Why do we need you? Well, contrary to popular belief, courts reject 99% of model policies and rule that they are unconstitutionally vague. This is a very dangerous situation because you have a lot of people that trust their associations or trust their policy services, and then they get slammed in court because the boilerplate they used was vague. All right, so for instance, let me reinforce that. In a public sector case involving the city of Petersburg, Virginia, an attorney used model policy language from very reputable sources. But the Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals found the policy language unconstitutionally vague. So that's what I'm talking about. You rely on your policy service or your association, and then the next thing you know is your policy falls through the cracks and it's being ruled that it was unconstitutionally vague, and you're totally left vulnerable to paying out huge settlements and judgments because you have absolutely no protection in a lawsuit. So also in this Petersburg case, very interesting because the policy decision maker, the police chief, was found not to be protected by qualified immunity, which exposed him to personal liability. Now, in the private sector, you've had numerous social media policies developed internally based on model policy language, and the court found that these policies were also too broad. For instance, one of the largest U.S. retailers, the Costco Employee Agreement Company, had their social media policy invalidated by the National Labor Relations Board. The board found the policy was way too broad and stifling to an employee's free speech rights under Section 7 of the National Labor Relations Act. So, look, those are just a couple of reasons why my masterclass in social media policy development and update is so urgent. You will never find my proprietary policy strategies taught in-house, online, at association seminars, or anywhere else. I hear that all the time in my classes. So, if you're going to have to make a decision if you want to just keep doing what you're doing and just risk it and take a chance that your policy will be approved in court during a lawsuit, but I can guarantee you it won't be approved. All right. So social media platforms have grown immensely and the laws are changing fast as well. The U.S. Supreme Court now views social media policies and training as high liability and specialized areas of the law, not just a public relations issue like it probably was a couple years ago. So look, there comes a time when you need help from an outside legal specialist. This is one of those times, especially when it has to do with developing and updating your social media policy to comply with the new federal laws and to make sure it holds up in court. So my powerful policy writing strategies will save your organization hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions of dollars, but definitely will also protect your career as well. So look, thank you for spending time with me. I look forward to sharing my expert information with you to create an airtight social media policy. And I can only hope that you'll register for this course right now. And I made a convincing argument to you, and then also you reading my flyer, you received a lot of information that you won't wait till after a lawsuit. All right, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for spending time with me.